And welcome to the circus. I'm Johnny. Align with me for the good of the colony. I'm risking this because I'm also doing another video. I have ADHD, so I just throw shit done at the same time. And this is the third video, which it may not work because I used a long videos. I don't know how many hours of battery they have. It's a risk, okay? So we're getting to this one. This is like back to back videos that I'm explaining right now that are like hand in hand, okay? So if the last video is about capitalism and the shift from letting go of patriarchy capitalism, here comes the next one where I'm thinking for our next thing, and especially white supremacy is fucking dead, that we're moving into the shift for the way the world is going to be framed, and it's just disabilities and marginalized people. um I feel as though this is based on almost entirely based on disabilities. um for our oh, that's a good one. I'm going to talk about that one, but ultimately I think that especially people of color, I assume that all people of color are marginalized to a point that even if they don't have a physical disability, they will have CPTSD, which would be a disability in itself. And so I think every marginalized, especially people of color, that their ass will be disabled also because of my whiteness. My peoples has made it so that every person of color has trauma and CPTSD or PTSD, that they are all disabled. Um, so it's going to be a huge amount of all of the disabled people that will very frame the entire world and civilization that we are moving into. I'm not even sure if this is going to be a full video. We're really risking on this one. That which we're going into a matriarchy, which is Mother Earth, that we will just straight up have all of the ideas and the limitless imagination of those with disability, which of course is people of color and women, um, and femmes and queers. The point of, so I do not think that disabled people will suffer. I do not think they should suffer. I think everything that disabled people suffer is based on capitalism entirely, which is the lack of accessibility is the only reason that and the lack thereof of accessibility is the only reason that disabled people suffer. So it's just based on capitalism and white supremacy that they made sure that conquest means you have to have people suffer, which means they create the suffering because otherwise it doesn't work for their capitalistic belief. But we know that with all the disabled people, marginalized people, people of color, queers, and femmes has been because of the resilience of the white supremacy, capitalism, patriarchy, that they have had the option, the resilience to straight up let go of that absolute abuse, that they're like, actually, I can do plenty. And so they have already framed the entire society and convenience that we have now, that is that which we want to keep. And the reason why we have had that is based on their necessity to make things worth living with the disabled people and marginalized people. And that is how they've had the option to create and have the idea for arts. And that is how we're moving on to the matriarchy coming on here. It's going to be mostly disabled people. And that ultimately, this is going to be annoying. I don't know. That ultimately, the framing that we already know have they've started creating is how we're going to move on from all of this. And the full creation is going to be fucking crazy of so much art that you're not even going to anticipate what we're going to have. You're not even going to be aware that once we, as at least those with the positivity, that we break it down from the white supremacy, the capitalism, and the patriarchy, that we're ready for absolute growth and full full range for all of the ideas, which is so much creation that you have no clue, because everything has been limited because of my peoples, and white men, and the patriarchy, the capitalism, that it has all limited all of that. Once you have full access, that everything is possible for all of the amazing things that you can't even fathom it right now, but you will see it go on. This one, you might not see it immediately. I might be saying this early, that it could be between 5 to 10 years before you see more of that, or longer. I don't fucking know. But it will be art. And that's going to be the future of what we're having with all of the accessibility for all of this. That being said, I want to resist and talk about the AI right now, because if we're moving on for all of these great things going on, I want you to think about the AI, the generative AI that we want to resist. So the generative AI should, as the AI that we have, that we do want, it's based on only accessibility, which would be, we're talking about voice for people who are blind. We want braille. We want whatever, the access of language, the access of touch, all of that type of stuff based on your technology. There should be convenience and accessibility for disabled people, and that includes for the rest of us. We already know that they've framed shit for the whole world for things that you enjoy right now. What do I know? The subtitles is from disabled people. You appreciate for the things that we have from, oh, what the hell else I'm thinking about? Oh, I guess I'm an asshole. I don't know all the things they've healed it, but at least it's the sidewalk is from disabled people. Um, Things like our clothing, to make it easier to understand from all of that, would be from disabled people. The whole thing. So they've already been framing for the way we're moving on. That's how it's going to be better for the rest in the future. The generative AI we have right now was built from the billionaires to just turn your brain to mush. So it's the rich people have no sense of foresight because they don't know how to heal, and when you're not knowing how to heal, it means you do not see in the future. You see in the live in the now, but more of a, I am only wanting to survive. I don't want to feel. I don't want to grow. I don't want to enjoy my life. I want to survive. And that is why they're going to try really hard, like they did with the Bitcoin, that they want you to take it because it's their survival mode. That they want you to be stupid, and they want you to have no hope, and they want you to really rely on what they want you to think of for the good of the way things are going. And I think that Gen AI is just the type of Bitcoin. They're already telling me that Bitcoin somehow had required a lot of computing, that it's the same one that suffered in the first point, and then it's been, when we get Gen AI, it's even worse than Bitcoin was suffering the planet in the first place. So I want you to know that it's the same type of, they're telling you that the market, they're trying to they're conning you to think that this is a market, that people will appreciate it and they will use it. They will not do that. It is Bitcoins. It's crypto that they're trying to tell you, hey, you want to use this because it will make you work. It will, people will want to listen to what you have to say, which is ChatGPT, or they really want to see your art, which is just stolen art from others that the AI will just create it for you. And it also really turns your brain to mush. You will look online and you will see that they're seeing that people's brains are quieting down for certain areas of the brain that you're not using as frequently, which will just mean your brain is at a risk for dementia, Alzheimer's, towards your the end of your life. If you rely on this without healing your brain, they want you to turn to mush because you will not be able to think on your own, and they will be relying on you being a working bee in a bad way, as in you will just do what they tell you to do, as what we do with our capitalism and white supremacy, that they will just be hoping for you to do exactly what they tell you. And it means that you will not think for you to try things. And mm, so if you're thinking, oh, I want to keep the Gen AI, I want to use it, you are limiting yourself and you're taking what the billionaires want you to think on, and it's not going to work because no matter what, we already know that they're enslaving people right now, even though the wage is very low. So, if you already know what's happening based on our country right now, you should resist what they're telling you because it's going bad right now. So, if you want to make sure you're going to appreciate your life for the last end of your life, I would say let go of the chat GPT and the generative AI art, because if you're just thinking on yourself, because we already know that stuff, they're conning you. You're not going to have finances from that. You're not going to grow financially. They did that on purpose. You dumb bitch, is what they're trying to say to you. I say that too, but anyway. Also, the planet does not want that computation. It's ruining the resources we have on the earth, the same way that they did for the ozone layer from all the fuels in the planes, whatever. You know, that absolute bullshit is affecting what we have right now. If you can think for the collective, guess what? You're not going to be able to live here. Or if you can't, oh, do you want to have a dementia or Alzheimer's or not? So I'm getting to you at that point. And if you can think on if you can think on resisting the capitalism we have right now, which you want to, because there's people like me and others who already know we're not listening to that. This is bullshit, and they're ready for the frequency of positivity that they're like, I still have hope. I'm living the way I want to live, which is the community and the flow of the earth and the way things are supposed to do for enjoying your life as a human. I won't take whatever the billionaires are trying to lie to me, because guess what? I have my brain and I know what I'm doing. So I'm not going to do that. You know who does have good ideas? The disabled people, the marginalized people, the people of color, the indigenous people. Those people have great ideas. If we make sure that, guess what, we don't listen to that, we're going to create more platforms for those with disability, for with people with their color, their queerness, their disabilities, their feminists. Guess what? You're going to have great ideas going over there because they're resisting the AI and they know they want to move their brain and figure out great ideas, because look at all the cool options that they've had from the past, that guess what? We're still going, man. We have this life, this experience. I'm gonna be a brilliant genius for whatever the fuck I'm going. I don't need the billionaires to teach me shit, because they don't want to teach me. They want to control me, and I don't want to do that. And that is a very limited belief, to think that you cannot think. That is the ultimate thing of white supremacy, that they always wanted you to never have the option to think. That is very capitalist. That is very white supremacy. that is very patriarchy. They want you to not think because you're very easy to be malleable and moved into a way you're supposed to be based on their own personal soul purpose and what the shit they want. You don't have to be a slave. You can choose to not be, which is, I know you're going to hate that one, but that is what you can. You can literally have the hope to grow into that because the resilience that we've had for especially Black people, from the Black Americans here, that they have grown everything that we have from the great shit that we have in America. Music, all of that shit is created by Black Americans, especially from the beginnings of all of that. Every genre of music from America is the Black people who created it. That's with all the delicious food they've created. Um, the way that dresses we have. I just learned about denim. That's all the Black Americans, especially, they were enslaved. Every cool thing we have is from the resilience of Black Americans. So, of course, that makes sense that when we move on is going to be people being resilient from what we have right now, which means you have to let go of what they tell you. You take the bullshit, you move it into a better way, and you move on to make shit great. It's like Mosaic, where you have all these shrapnel glasses. They just throw shit at you as stabs at you. You take that and you know that you can make something beautiful out of that. All of the cool things about America is from the enslaved Africans for this whole time. Duh, right? And that doesn't mean that whiteness, you're not supposed to give up. They want you to give up and only think in conquest. You can let go of that. You can say, actually, I'm white and I don't want to hold that anymore. I'd actually love to see the great creation that I've seen from all of the disabled people, from people of color, indigenous people, and women, and femmes, and queers. Look at all the awesome, cool shit goes on. I've been limited from my own white peoples that the only thing I win is from putting boots on people's necks. I don't want to live like that. I can move on and look at all these creations that they've done in the past. This is supposed to be my inspiration to appreciate all these things that's going on from the resilience of white supremacy, capitalism, patriarchy. You can choose to let go of the limits that they've all created for you, and we can just move on. If you, as a white person, still want to maintain the status quo of that, then you will suffer the rest of your iteration until you let go. But it will not matter because I already know that the disabled people have already reframed from this, especially people of color, that we've come to a point that they've already made sure the accessibility over time. That's our place. Our art, our convenience, our accessibility everywhere has already been framed in such a way that we are totally ready for the things that move on, because disabled people won't take the Gen AI. Or there still be some, but they're probably just white people. Anyway, if you take it, that's the thing that you create for your own suffering. Because when you let go of the propaganda that you've gotten from my peoples and the capitalism and patriarchy that we've had, you have only taken what will be the way it is. And there will still be people like me who are resisting the the absolute bullshit from all of this. My white people culture, which is just conquest. I've been letting go of that. There will be people who will ignore, and we will raise it. We will make sure that the civilization will move on into the next one. Whether you believe it or not, it will happen no matter what. With the mindset of me and others that it will happen no matter what, you will just suffering for no reason. And that's okay. That's part of your life. It probably means you have more iterations to go. I am on towards my last end, that ultimately, fuck it. I'm moving. I'm letting go of this shit. I can't, I'm very excited that I'm knowing to let go of this before 30, that I'm so ready to see all of these years of growth, creativity, accessibility everywhere. I'm pretty excited that I get to see that for the next 50 years of my life. I get to see all of that. All the creative art that I get to see, that I know it's going to go into that. And I'm pretty happy about that for all of these disabled people that we have. I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be great. So I'm just letting you know, when you're gonna hear this, it's going to scratch your brain, and then whatever timeline it is in your life that you're like, oh, okay. At some point you're like, okay, I'll do that. I still think you can reframe, rewire your brain. I'll explain that at some point. You can always you can heal your body, your physical body, and you can always move on. So if you still do all of this, I'm still pissed and fuck you, but you can still heal your body. You can try other options for it in the future, because you will suffer from using Gen AI. You'll fuck yourself over, but you can still heal yourself. Just like a person who has a very demanding substance, that people can heal. I can heal from the things that I've happened to my physical body. That shit can be healed, because we have the option to be so positive at a point that shit works. So it's okay. You'll get to a point. I mean, I'm pissed because I like the earth, and but you know what? I'm gonna get to a point, and I'm reframing the way it is, and all these disabled people and people of color and marginalized people. This shit's going no matter what. So I don't know. I believe in you. You can heal. We can all heal. So thank you for listening to this. Appreciate you. I've done the videos and I'm sweating, because guess what? It is what it is. My channel will be shadow banned for a while, because we will have the overlords controlling things. I'm a communist. They will not want to give me any money, because look how brilliant I am. I want to share, and they don't like that in capitalism. So please put on the notifications so that you know what I'm talking about. And if you give a shit, that's the only way you're going to find me, because they definitely want me silenced. I know this. That's okay. I'm okay with that. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But if you want to listen to this shit, that's how you'll only hear from my shit. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for all of the resilience of Black Americans, disabled Americans, queers, femmes, and women, and all of that shit. I'm excited for all of this, especially trans people. I know that my internet is from all these trans ladies and all these mathematicians, of these beautiful Black ladies. They always had all these cool options. My life is great because of all of these resilience and great inventions, ideas. All of that shit has been made my life very cool. So thank you for all of that. And thank you for who are moving into the next way. And I'm very excited to see all the incredible shit you're going to let go. It's going to be incredible. I already know. I don't know what it's going to be exactly, but it's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you guys later.